and always say, leave everything out on that highway. Come in here and give yourself a clean slate and let yourself heal. Because if you're not allowing yourself that opportunity to heal, you're never going to move forward.
Welcome to the In the Arena podcast. My name is Jared Miguez, a co-host on this podcast that brings you the inspiring stories of our clients who are leaders and innovators across different industries in Southeast Louisiana. They are visionary entrepreneurs, savvy real estate professionals, media creators, military business owners, and community champions. And we are going to showcase the remarkable achievements and share their personal stories. Tune in for insightful conversations, valuable lessons, and motivational stories that are going to reveal their secrets to success and offer you insights to help you on your own path. Welcome to In the Arena podcast. All right, welcome to the In the Arena podcast. We have the crew from Healing with Horses Louisiana. Very excited to have you ladies on the show. And so today is at one of our community segments where we're going to talk about a nonprofit in our area that is helping the community in a very specific way. And it's unique, and I love y'all's values, by the way, so I can't wait to get into talk about y'all's values. But let's just talk about what Healing with Horses does.
We are a nonprofit 501c3 that serves all special needs, disabilities, depression, anxiety, you name it, we're serving. Autism. We are an equine therapy program that started out just with Alzheimer's patients initially, and it just began to grow. And so now that we're a nonprofit, the doors really opened and expanded who we can serve.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's been such an honor to have this whole field of new people that need, such a different type of healing.
Sure.
Which is what we offer.
Yeah, I've seen one of my friends from Baton Rouge. He's a former military. He's a veteran in the military, and he talks about how one of his friends utilized a program in New Mexico who did the same thing, where these people with PTSD come and spend time with horses, and they're in a way healed, or at least their situation is made better because of the relationship they built with these horses. And so tell us, do you have that type of experience yourself? What is your experience with the horses?
Oh my goodness, I could go on and on, really.
Yeah.
We also work with veterans as well. We are a small nonprofit, but I like to feel like we do very big things one-on-one. And one of my little sayings is changing lives one person at a time. And because when we have the one client in front of us, whether it's a veteran, Alzheimer's patient, suicidal ideation, we deal with that a lot with the young children, young teens. It's really sad that we have, that group that's coming much more to our program. But in that, when we're with them, and to watch the change that happens almost as soon as their eyes see the horses walking up to them. I get goosebumps all the time. I'm literally with goosebumps, and I'm always saying, "Oh my goodness, here it comes!" They're reacting to this already.
What do you think it is about the horses that allow? I mean, Lauren's grew up on horses her whole life.
Absolutely, yes.
I'll tell you one of the things I've learned is that the horse's heart is how many times?
It's about five times
the size of our heart.
Larger.
So when you walk into the area of the horse, your heart and their heart start to match with each other. So it calms your heart rate and just puts a calm over you. And it's just a matter of being, with this majestic animal who seems so, large and overpowering. But like she said, you look into their eyes, you touch them. Her program is all about sensory and touch. Like, nobody gets on the horse and rides the horse. It's about, petting the horse. It's about brushing the horse. It's about walking with the horse. So you kind of become with one, and, you have conversation, or you're just quiet, and that aura of being in the horse's presence just gives a sense of calm. It allows you to just bring out some truths that because it brings peace. And so when you have peace, it allows you to have clearer thoughts, and it allows you to share things more than what you would have, without it. So that was one thing. When she told me that, I was like, okay, this makes sense. I mean, I'd been around horses, at different intervals of my life, camp, we had a little farm, but never really thought about it in such a way where it can be a healing for so many things.
So tell us about the program. So that's interesting. I didn't, in my mind, I would assume that it has something to do with learning how to ride a horse and maybe accomplishing something in that manner, but it's not. So tell us about the program and what y'all do with people.
So it's non-riding, which is very important to understand in the beginning, but the work that we do on the ground, which is called Liberty, basically, it's Liberty training. We utilize that in building trust, confidence. I always think that when a client approaches us before they even get to the farm with the horses, they are so brave in making the phone call to contact me, to have the conversation where I learn what their needs are. And then I design their session from that conversation. So something really unique about us is we're not a cookie cutter program. I really, really work hard at taking each client and designing an absolute personal session for them. And that includes choosing the horse that they'll use and understanding what they are coming to this first session with, bringing so much heaviness, frightening. A lot of people are so fearful of things that are going on in their lives. So when they make that phone call and we have that conversation, that's step one of being brave. And then step two, I think, is driving down my driveway, because I have a really long driveway and I feel like you turn in and this is real. I'm doing
universe,
this.
right?
Yes. And I always say, leave everything out on that highway. Come in here and give yourself a clean slate and let yourself heal. Because if you're not allowing yourself that opportunity to heal, you're never going to move forward in healing. And then the next step is walking up to the horses. So it's very profound how it unfolds. And then I like to really behind the scenes, I love to watch my horses react to the person. So I'm quietly watching the person, but I'm also watching the horse. And it's very interesting because when they meet all of the horses, they're all free range. No one's caught. We do that as part of your session. That's part of the braveness and the courage that we're trying to build and establish. And so they're seeing multiple horses in the horse's own environment. And it's really beautiful to see how the horse will choose the person.
Wow.
So I have to tell this story.
So often.
Another story,
That's what you're here for.
So she had a group of cancer survivors that came out. One of her horses kept going to the left side of this particular person. And there was about 5 of them.
Eight. Yeah, about
Visiting.
8 ladies.
And so this one horse, she was working with a couple of horses and a couple of the ladies, and the one horse, Jet, wasn't it? T. Okay, I'm sorry.
But this was a private client, not with that group.
So okay. Well,
But I know what you're telling.
She kept going to her left side, and after the program was over, she said,
she was in tears.
Nobody. She went into tears, and she was kind of nervous because the horse was like really on her neck and on her left side and nuzzling with her. And after it was over, she was like, "I haven't told anyone, but my cancer has come back." And
the lymph
T
nodes.
just was so.
It was all in that area.
All
where
in
it
that
was
area
back.
and loving on her, and just the connection, but. Part of it too, I mean, Kelly's been a trainer. She's trained horses. She's been a horse woman her whole life. And she's done barrel race. What have you done? You have to tell tell them what your
know. Yeah.
We're going to
background is.
edit that. No.
All right. Barrel racers are crazy.
They
Just
are,
kidding.
but I am
Just kidding.
too.
I did it.
No. Well, I guess as an equine specialist, which I qualify as in doing this, that really defines a person with a lot of experience in a lot of different dimensions working with horses. So we have different disciplines in the horse world. And so we raised horses growing up very young. I've never not had a horse. I've always had a horse in my life. So it's pretty amazing that even when I was a young little girl, there were always horses in my life. So with that, you can't help but gain experience.
Yeah.
And we had many, many, many horses that, we trained, competed. My mother was an avid horsewoman, and she really is she is the founder of this nonprofit because it was through her Alzheimer's that I started using the horses to kind of get her through rough times. But she was a beautiful horsewoman, and she taught me so much. She really did. There was this genuine quality of what she gave me with horses, and I had no idea I would be using it in this capacity at this level. And so through showing and competing and training horses and instructing riders and all, you build a lot of experience, and that carries over in what we're doing now. And one thing I love that I'm doing now that I had not done was I'm training these horses here that we get off the racetrack. All of our horses, except for one, were injured racehorses, thoroughbred racehorses. And the horse world, my friends in the horse world said, "You've got to be kidding. You're using thoroughbreds for therapy?" No.
I was honestly shocked when recently y'all shared some content about one of the horses, and I'm like, wait.
Yes.
So, the horses have undergone therapy themselves.
So when they come off the track, I'm very fortunate to be connected with some beautiful thoroughbred racing farms. And I'll get a phone call that we have a very injured horse. Would you consider taking it for your program? I do take a lot. I don't always the horses don't always make the cut, but they always get a great home if I know I can't use them. But in the ones that I do keep, through their injuries, which are usually really severe, might be 1 to 2 years of rehabbing, that's also my way of training them to become a therapy horse. And it's all about really being on the same page with them. Trust, the same thing that I'm doing client to horse, I'm doing horse to client. Building the trust and the confidence and understanding that this is a safe place. No one's getting hurt, client or horse. Everyone is healing. Yeah. Because these horses have been through so much, and horses remember things like unbelievably. They remember people. So from years past, they have this beautiful sense of memory. So that injury, that impact really stays with them. And so you can't tell me that when we're healed and then we have these clients coming that want nothing to be in that range of that heart rate with them, that closeness, that those horses aren't feeling that same healing, incredible sense of therapy,
the connection
for themselves.
I preach all the time that I would choose any day to live with horses and dogs. You could just put me in a stall and I would just stay with them all the time. Yes, and I think it's so easy for someone to connect with a dog, right? You immediately yes, I love on them. I play. So easy. They reciprocate the love, but they don't always understand that for horses, and I cannot bring it to a level to understand when you have that personal connection. When I was younger, the farm that we had, the apartment that we slept in was in the barn. And as soon as my parents would fall asleep, I would sneak out and just go lay in the stall, just to be in the stall. And horses don't sleep laying down. They're usually just standing up. But I just wanted to be around them. And I absolutely believe the heart rate issue from riding, because I remember that and feeling that. And we rode our horses hard. And so I would always baby them after too, and they would be panting. And again, you can feel their heart rates. You can have that energy when you're riding them, but I've never thought about the idea of the connection when you're just interacting with them. But then I bring myself to my childhood horse-loving days, and that's
then
exactly what I did.
That's what you were doing.
Exactly what I did. Yeah, I just wanted to be in their presence all the time.
And
I'm going to leave now and go see my horse.
Right, yes. I know you're doing that right after this. I think that is what really was the step one for me in determining to create this. First, it was an LLC. and that was during COVID. So it really slowed everything down. And then that was another 4 years. And then this past year, we became nonprofit.
Woohoo.
But
And we hit the ground running.
And boy, did we. I mean, we were.
Well, you got yourself a good team.
Yes, great
Yes.
board of directors
did,
that
yes.
are incredible. And
She put it all together. She created
Not
her
by
board
myself.
of directors. She created a committee, a team, a Healing with Horses Louisiana team.
that's a whole
And
nother
these
team.
people work nonstop.
Incredible.
And I've been a part of multiple boards, and they are not ornaments on a tree.
Yeah, usually you're pulling teeth for activity.
Never.
Yes,
They're asking us,
they're
what
saying,
are we doing?
What are we
We're not
doing
doing
next?
enough.
When's the next activity? When know?
Yes.
So last year, I mean, we put together a sponsorship packet. We put together, a information packet. We had a gala on November 2nd at Chafuncta Country Club. We will be having that again on November 1st.
Oh, cool.
So the first weekend of November.
Just plant your flag now. We're in March and we're having this on November 1st, and nobody else scheduled anything on November
That's
1st.
Yeah,
right.
so
We're in early.
We
yeah.
are looking for sponsors. We just had people jump in and respond and react.
It's amazing.
Alternative therapy is something that's a little hard because, when everybody thinks that they need help, medical, we're kind of getting into a place where people don't want to rely on medications. They want to do homeopathic versions of,
Or at least try it.
yeah. It's another option.
So it's a matter of opening people's eyes and ears and heart to alternative methods. And the great thing is, our community has this here. And,
So welcoming.
it's in Folsom. The other thing that's wonderful about this program is that Kelly can bring her horses to a facility. She has trained her horses to go into a facility and do therapy, but she can bring them there. She has worked with the caretakers with, she's gone to multiple,
Nursing
a brain injury
homes,
clinics,
rehab
nursing homes,
clinics, right,
rehab
right.
clinics.
That's one of my favorite things to do is to
she
bring
likes,
our
so
horses.
we
With
need
the proper
resources.
waivers being signed.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So
Made by Arena Collective.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's right. Arena,
But I think
helped get it.
the beauty of bringing a horse, which those are the two things we really offer, the private sessions at our farm and then on location service. The beauty of bringing a horse to the people of nursing homes and rehab centers and special events is those people that their activity is little to zero as far as leaving these places. So that was where I thought, oh my goodness, when my mom with Alzheimer's, she did live with us for 13 years, but I knew of so many who were in memory care facilities. And once she passed away and we had this void of what do we do? My whole family, all my children, we had served for so many years. You really do step back and feel like, gosh, there's got to be something more.
Yeah.
And that was the beauty of where this was built. And a friend who had an Alzheimer's mother said, could I bring my mom out? And that's where it started. And she brought her mother out. Her mother was not a horse person because we thought, oh, mom reacted well to it because she was a horse woman. She had lots of experience and comfort. But this beautiful woman came out and she did not skip a beat. She went straight to the horse. There was this interaction that was absolutely so beautiful. I'm getting choked up because I'm thinking of it. When face to face, it was like this. Alzheimer's wasn't even a moment. I literally have goosebumps. It was just gone. And I really do believe for that moment in time, she experienced her present moment of everything was normal. And so the daughter leaves with her. They're driving, which is a beautiful drive to Folsom. But they're driving, and she called me once she got her back, and she said, I can tell you right now, she has never spoken so presently than she did all the way home. She remembered everything about the coming there, being with the horse's name. And with Alzheimer's, those things don't really happen.
They'll stick it.
Minutes later, they've forgotten, and you're asking the same question again. And that's the sadness of this horrible disease of robbing the mind. So that positive impact really started me with, okay, let's do this. And that's when my daughter and I put a horse in a trailer and we went to a nursing home. And we said, let's do it. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Yeah,
the horse gets away and runs down the highway, which was my only fear. But
Didn't happen.
He was perfect. And we started off, coming into the facility, and I was so excited. And the director said, we have 4 patients that want to see the horse. And I said, there's 400 here. I was so sad. And in about 30 minutes, we had over 50 patients lined up in their little wheelchairs waiting for us. So we stayed for hours, and we saw every single patient that wanted to see the horse.
That's incredible.
And it really was. And that catapulted everything. And then from nowhere, people would call me and just say, one of the first non-Alzheimer's patients was a friend's child with autism. And, I thought, oh, goodness, I really have no experience. I had experience with Alzheimer's. I was comfortable. Mm-hmm. You put Alzheimer's in horses, I was comfortable. So I had to learn about the interaction of horse and being on the spectrum, and what am I going to bring to this child, and then what is the horse going to bring? And that was, once again, so beautiful. I'm always tears and goosebumps, I always say, but I can't teach the horse to have the intuition to heal or assist healing. I teach these horses to be very well behaved and safe, and I put my heart and soul in their training, but the interaction that takes place is totally out of my hands. It really is that person and the horse, and what comes from the moment that they're sharing together. So it's so beautiful. It's never old either. It's always this. I'm excited every single time somebody's coming.
So let me ask you this. Have you had anybody who, like a business person or somebody who just has a lot going on in their lives, go out there just to have a break?
Yeah.
So this is open to anybody who feels that they need healing.
Anything that
You're already booked for the rest of the week, Jared. You can't go anywhere.
We got to get Jared out there.
My calendar.
Go to my website, look at scheduling, you'll find a spot.
So, tell us how you get in touch with you guys.
So, it is through our website, which is beautiful. I have an amazing person working on it. She's always adding to it. It was initiated by a dear friend of mine who put heart and soul into creating the website, Pam Culver. She is in Wisconsin. She was so generous, also donated everything for the cause, just the trust in it. And she then kind of passed the baton to a beautiful Myri Burvant, a beautiful woman in St. Tammany, and she has just taken our website to a whole level that I could have never imagined. So giving those 2 shout outs because they're very needed. Anywhere on my website, every page has a place to go to schedule, and it's very long, but it's the whole name, www.healingwithhorseslouisiana.org.
Okay.
So it's our entire name.org, and it's very easy setup. You go in, find our calendar, pick your spot. It's a prepaid. It sends you an automatic message of payment and then a reminder. It's just fabulous.
Wow, okay.
And it gives a lot about what we do, too, and a lot of pictures and details of what we're about.
And this is 7 days a week. How often? What's the schedule?
Usually 6 days. We try. Sundays are kind of low key. I do a lot
for your own personal healing. I get it.
Yes, but
Day of rest.
I do have a lot of people that like to come and just see what we're doing, or friends of friends who have no idea about equine therapy, and I love to give that opportunity to just come see what we're about.
Sure.
And so Sundays are kind of those days where I try to keep it really where it's more personal, people, coming to just see what it's about.
Yeah.
Monday through Saturday, we book sessions and we do events, and we, of course, have our own location where we take the horses. And so it's very full schedule.
That's great. That sounds like, I'm glad y'all are busy.
Yeah.
So we already talked about how they can get in touch with you guys. So as we wrap up, y'all talked about the event in November. Is there anything else that's coming up that y'all want people to know about? And quickly, what is obviously we know what the mission is. What does it take to run this organization? Like, what do you need in order? What kind of support do you need from our audience to be able to run this organization? How can they donate? All those things.
That's a great question.
Well,
it's multi-layered.
I have to
answer.
say, I mean, Kelly has taken this on, solidly herself. She doesn't have any employees. She takes care of the horses. She feeds the horses. She goes everything is done by Kelly. She's done fencing. She's,
You totally look like a woman that gets out there and
yes.
feeds the fence.
She's a doer.
do
You
fencing.
tell her something and it's like, oh, you did that, but her resources are slim. She's depending on people, signing up for, class for their therapy sessions and, and meanwhile there's vet bills, there's feed bills, there's, transportation, making sure that the things that she needs to go off site are available to her. She has a truck, she has a trailer, she has, so we need every type of resource. She needs more fencing done. She's had some that people had volunteered, some of their time, but she still has to pay for the wood and the product for that. But we can't just do it having a gala once a year. Like, we want to be part of other people's fundraisers. We want to be the nonprofit that they're raising money for. We'll come help. We have lots of people that can volunteer their time. We can help with golf tournaments. We can help, but it's us finding out what those are.
Yeah, sure.
Like who's going to offer us that? Who can we work with? Who can we partner with? So we need people to say, hey, we need a partner.
Sure.
We want to support your nonprofit.
Sponsorships, strategic partners.
So
philanthropy, someone who would back us just completely and understanding. I know those are big steps, but for a nonprofit to really be successful, it really comes from others.
Sure.
We do all the work. It's not the work part. It's the keeping it going.
Financing it.
And horses are very expensive.
That's what I was thinking
Oh
when
my
you
goodness,
said injured
they're very
horses. I'm like,
expensive.
I know what it costs to have a healthy horse.
Yes.
So having an injured horse that
Yes.
you're helping
Many,
through their
many
own
vet
healing.
she has farrier. She has vet.
So we have multiple veterinarians that we use. They're fantastic, and they are at my place kind of often.
Yeah.
So, but they have to be, and that's because that care of the horse is so critical. And then of course you have the surprises that happen. When you wake up in the morning and go out there and there's a injury to the horse that you didn't have the night before, and horses will do things that you have no idea of what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those unexpected vet bills plus our routine vet bills.
Sure.
And,
Well,
but it comes with the territory, so it's
yeah,
okay.
of course. Yeah. Well, we often have people that want to reach out to us and ask to help with events and things like that. So knowing that y'all are just looking for opportunities to raise money, not necessarily looking for people to donate directly. I'm sure y'all would appreciate that.
We love to work. We're a great committee of doers.
And you can donate on the website. You can, give NOLA days coming up in May. That was last year was the first time that we did that. We had a really big social media presence for the gala this year. I think
it was amazing.
She did a phenomenal job learning what to do and how to do it.
I learned a lot about fundraising.
And we really hooked a lot of people through that. And we would really like to just learn of any resources that anyone would like to share and set up times for people to come see more about the program and where it is. I mean, if somebody wants to sponsor food or hay or
or an
fencing,
individual horse.
we'll put your
you
name
know,
all
we can
over
turn-
it.
Yeah.
You
sure.
know, so
Well, I have some
at,
good ideas and some people that I want to connect y'all with too. So I mean, y'all keep talking about it, and it's going to happen. But again, you can go to the website to donate, obviously, and then also, you know, people can reach out to us. We'll connect with you guys because we do a lot of work with you about it. And if they are looking for partners for events too, because again, we get asked to do events all the time. So I'm happy to say, and they often want to do an event. There are people who want to do events, they just don't know who they want to partner with. And so I love to have a name to be able to give them. So that's great.
And if you come to get something notarized at Arena, we have a sheet, and Healing with Horses is one of the nonprofits that you can scan the QR code and donate directly to their organization as well.
Oh,
So
that's
instead of
paying us to notarize docs.
we
my goodness.
instead of accepting fees for notarizing docs, we encourage people to donate to
That's
a charity that we
amazing.
already support. So that is an option too. So anybody getting things notarized, we always direct them to that. So
one of the other things that was brought up, we went to a Rotary meeting, and one of the gentlemen there had said, "Would you come out to my place of business for my employees?" He said, because I feel like they need a release. I
too.
feel like
Just like
they
you were
need something.
saying. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's something that we really haven't tapped into, but kind of an HR kind of thing, you know, where
Right.
you,
For employees,
That would be
right.
a break at a retreat day.
Absolutely.
right. I mean, like you bring snowballs or you bring, you know, different things. It's like, let's bring the horses and let everybody have a, you know,
I'm glad that came up
that.
because something very important when we do bring horses on location, after all the patients see the horse and we work with them, always stay about 30 minutes longer for the employees to come. And they just melt into these horses, and they need it so much. And I started realizing the impact that has also on caregivers, people who are every day in and out with their family members who have Alzheimer's or whatever they're dealing with. They could have children who are battling different, you know, terrible diseases, whatever. They too need a break. And so that is a healing on a whole nother level, offering it to, you know, the person who's exhausted and can't go another minute. I think that's how I really worked well with my mother in the Alzheimer's. Was I was exhausted so many days, probably every day there was a level of exhaustion, and I needed that mental break. And that's when I would go out to the barn. I would just kind of quietly disappear for maybe 30 minutes and just work with my horses. And I would come back so rejuvenated and so fresh for her. Yeah. And, you know, where my children would kind of tag team staying with her when I went and had a little break, I'd come back able to do it all over again. Yeah. And it wasn't just me. So I see that with so many other people. Caregiving is a whole nother level of love and generosity.
And self-sacrifice and humility and the whole 9 yards, I can imagine.
100% of the time also. Even if your loved one is in a facility, your thoughts are always connected to what is happening with them. Are they safe? Are they comfortable? Are they joyful? Are they sad? It's a never-ending question of what's going on in their life. Mm-hmm. So whether you're with them or have them somewhere, it's still that responsibility of heart is there.
Yeah. It's so funny we have the conversation because the person that we were talking with earlier today, she works with the senior group of people who are transitioning and downsizing from their forever home to a facility or a community. So, you know, it's just funny how all the connections that you make all kind of play together. Because I'm sure she would be a great person to connect with you guys. So, well, look, we really appreciate you coming on. And you thought that this was going to be quick.
We appreciate this opportunity. I mean, it's
wonderful.
This is a great resource. And
truly.
It's good for us to kind of talk through it all, to kind of put what we need to share into perspective. Mm-hmm. You know, to make the best
awareness.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
Yep. Yeah, can't do enough of it. And look, whatever we can do to help support you guys, but from what we do here as lawyers, but also as we get out in the community more. I'm glad I know more about what y'all are doing, because I have several ideas that I can put y'all in touch with people and help y'all in any way that I can too. So, and I'm I don't take care of people in the way that you were mentioning it, but I put out a lot of energy, and I'm thinking to myself how great it would be to have a few minutes by myself for once in a while.
It would. You'd be surprised what you're probably carrying around.
Oh, I
And
know what
then
I'm
when
carrying
you-
around. It's full. I'm fully
when
aware
you
of it. I just
have-
don't have the timer
Yes.
and I don't have
Okay,
the,
you're
I don't have the
aware.
space yet.
But when you have the quiet and
Yeah.
the peace and this big horse that's in front of you, that it's you're walking up to it with inhibition, and then in moments all that's gone,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this peace and a relief and a weight off your shoulders. And that really is in that heart rate matching, where the horse's heart rate's already lower, so it's going to bring yours down. And horses also have that in their herd. So when a herd is together, their heart rates are matching within the herd. So they apply that to us because, in a sense, we become part of their herd when we're in this dynamic. And so I love to see that. And it happens to me too. It really does. I can be very emotional, have many things go on in my life that are sad and challenging. And I notice it myself. I'll go out just to feed and I'll have a little one-on-one with one of them just saying hi. And then the next thing I know, my shoulders are lower, my breathing's softer, everything is different. And I'm like, this is the beauty of it. This is what the animal offers us.
Well, I'm sold.
So, okay, good.
I'm sold.
My job is done.
Yeah, good. Well, we can't wait to share it, and we'll be in touch about how we can share
Thank
y'all's
y'all
message.
so
and-
much. This was such an honor to be with you all, my amazing attorneys who I love. And
We got to give a shout out to Audrey. She did a lot of
oh
work.
my goodness,
Make sure y'all in a
Audrey,
good spot.
amazing.
Yeah, well, good.
Amazing. My full support system.
Yes, without a doubt. So Healing with Horses,
Absolutely.
Louisiana.
Ronnie's her CPA.
Oh,
No.
that's
We got a whole squad.
we do.
All right. Well, thank you,
Yes.
ladies.
Thanks for coming.
Thank y'all so
Thank
much.
you.